welcome back to Bailey's podcast with Waneta. I'm obviously Waneta. As you can see today, listeners and viewers, I'm actually the only one here today. I don't have any guests on the show. I just thought I wanted to try something a little bit different, like, you know, just do like an episode myself, like, I don't know. So I just said, you know what, just go for it, just do an episode yourself. Like, sometimes it's different, sometimes people want to just see you or just hear you, or I don't know. I just thought, you know what, I'm going to try something different today and we'll just see how it goes. So like I said in the other episode, I don't really think I gave you guys like a really like strong introduction of me and how I am, and how obviously I came about the idea of doing a podcast in the first place. So I'll just start with really the basics about myself. So obviously my name is Waneta. Yeah, you can see in the little title, page 2. And I'm 23 years old. I have 2 children. I have a boy and I have a girl. I have a 5-year-old and I have a 15-month-old. Is she 15 months? Yeah, she is. Sorry, I have to think. Sometimes, mothers out there, you know, sometimes you just have to stop and think of how old your child is. But yeah, I have 2 children. I graduated from uni last year. I did a degree in events management special at the University of West London. It was alright. It was okay, but like, I got the degree, so what can I can't really complain. I work part-time. I think I said in one of the episodes I work at Tesco. I ain't ashamed to say I work at Tesco. I love where I work. Like, I love the people who I work with. Well, I love the employees, not so much the managers. I know that's gonna sound bad, but I'm just being truthful. I love the employees who I work with. Like, I love going to work every morning and seeing them. They just put a smile on my face. I love doing that. What else? And that's it really. I have like a boring life, as I like to say. Like, since I finished uni, I'm just really, my life really now is just really work, kids, school, home, kind of. Well, obviously not in that order, but basically that's just what it is. Like, I wake up in the morning, get the kids ready, drop one, work, finish work, get one, get another one, back home. Like, literally, that's just what the routine is. But you know what? I love it. Literally, I love it. So, where should I start from? I'm really making this video for, like, I don't know, you can say probably like motivational purposes, because some people I feel like they will watch you, but because you don't really give them an in-depth, like, insight about you, like, they don't really feel connected. And I love anybody who I'm going to speak to, I love them to feel connected with me, like, from the get-go. So yeah, I'm just really going to just tell you guys, not everything, but everything. Not everything, but everything. You understand? It's going to be like that. So I did write a blog, actually. I've got a WordPress blog. I'll put the link in in the YouTube description box, and I'll also put it in the podcast description box as well. So listeners and viewers can actually read it if you want to. So I'll really just go off the basis of what I've written with that. So obviously, as I said, my age, I'm 23, I have 2 children. So some of you obviously have worked out the maths, innit? Well, some of you might work out the maths. That's just how some people are, innit? So I got pregnant with my son when I was 17 years old, and I had him when I was 18, because obviously within that year, my birthday's in September and his birthday's in December. So that's how it fell. So yeah, I got pregnant when I was 17. Obviously, it is a very young age. A lot of people say, oh my God, you were young, you were a baby. Like, yeah, I was a baby. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a baby. But obviously, that was just a choice that I decided to make. I really don't regret it. Like, my son that's my charging. Like, my son is like amazing. He's amazing. But yeah, so I got pregnant at 17. What was I doing at 17? At 17, what was I doing at 17? Oh my God, what was I doing at 17? I think we weren't that long ago, you know. I know I was in college, so yeah. So what happened now? So I finished from secondary school, which was amazing for me because I didn't like secondary school. Well, it was good, but the academic side, I hated it. So then I went to college. I went to Oxbridge College, actually. Like, that was always one of my lifetime achievement goals. Like, I always said I wanted to go to Oxbridge College. Like, look, Oxbridge College was the one. And when I finished school and I got accepted into Oxbridge, I was like, yes, life is gonna be lit. It's gonna be turned. Like, I met the best people in my life at Oxbridge College. Like, I'm the type of person, anywhere I go, I love to get like the fulfillment out of it. I love to meet new people. Like, I just love people. Like I'm a very people person. Like ask anybody who knows me. I would go into a room of people, not know no one, and leave with on first name basis. Like bye Sarah, bye like Dante and stuff like that. I would proper do things like that. So sorry if I sound a bit blocked. I'm really sorry. I'm just getting over tonsillitis. So if I do sound very blocked or very nasally. But yeah, so I just started Oxbridge College. Had the best time of my life, met some of the best people I'm still in contact with now. And yeah, that's what I was just doing. I had to redo my GCSEs in Oxbridge College. I didn't get all my GCSEs from secondary school. Because like I said, I didn't like the academic side of secondary school. I just felt like with me personally, secondary school wasn't for me. Like you see, like university is not for everybody. Like secondary school just wasn't for me. Even though it's compulsory, you have to go. It just wasn't for me at the time. But yeah, so when I left secondary school, I went to Oxbridge, like I've said like probably 3 or 4 times already. And yeah, I did my GCSEs there. So and when I got all my GCSEs I was doing at Oxbridge, and then when I was going to stay on for my A-levels, obviously I found out that I got pregnant. And then I was gonna stay and do my A-levels, but then see I'm a funny person at the same time. Like if my spirit don't take to something, like I just don't really stay with it. I'm like a mover, and I just tend to move away from it, like everybody should. I don't see why anyone should go to something if their spirit don't take to it, you understand? But yeah, so I was there one day, and then I had to obviously tell the there was like a room where you went and you have to tell people, oh, like if anything was happening in like your life that obviously might affect your studies and stuff like that. So obviously I went to this room and told these 2 ladies that obviously I was pregnant. These ladies was like, it's like they were mad excited, innit? Now, yeah, they were mad excited. I couldn't, I don't know, I was just shocked that they were mad excited. But then they said to me, so now that you got your grades, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna sit down and have babies? And then I had to stop. And I thought to myself, ooh, oh, what this woman take me for? Like literally, I had to stop and I had to be like, what is this woman? It just didn't come across right to my ears, and then from then I said, you know what? Peace. I'm taking my grades and I'm going to another college. So, because I didn't want to really be around that energy, because I feel like if someone can state something like that, that's all they're expecting of you. They're not expecting you to take stuff very seriously in life. They're just expecting you to, after when you have that baby, for you to have another baby. That's what I feel. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to give these people the grace of me being around them, and then that's what they're expecting in it, because I just don't feel like I would have progressed. So after that, I went to another college. I went to Harrow College. Again, best time in Harrow College. Anybody watching this in Harrow College, like, you lot are lit. Like, Harrow College was amazing. What happened at Harrow College? At Harrow College, I did BTEC Level 3 Travel and Tourism. I wasn't supposed to do Travel and Tourism, actually. I was supposed to do Events Management, but because only, I think it was like 5 people enrolled into the course, they was like, oh no, we cancelled it. You have to do something else similar. So I'm a very open person, so I went home and I was like, you know what, Waneta, I don't want to do travel and tourism, but let me research. So I went on the computer, went researching, and actually saw that, I don't know, I forgot where it was, what site I went on. I think it was like a career hub site, but it kind of gave you like these little poplet bubbles. Does anyone know what poplet is? Poplet's like a little speech bubble type of thing in it, but it gave me like these little poplet bubbles, and it said like events management in the middle, and it had like different routes you can go from it. So obviously it will have different things, like if you want to do travel and tourism, it will say you can go through these and these and these and these in order to get to events. So obviously because it was on the path to events management, I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna be what do you call it, not open to it. I will definitely do it. So that's what I did. So what did I do? Yeah, so I did travel and tourism BTEC Level 3. I did start off doing cabin crew, but because I ended up, because I was pregnant, I never finished it. It was quite funny though, actually, because when I started Harrow, I never told them I was pregnant. I was like 6 months pregnant, and I refused to tell these people. I only told these people when I was pregnant, like when I must have been like 7.5 months, because my mum was like, you can't do this. I don't know where you think you're going, because it was mad funny, because I'm like a little hustler, innit? Ask my mum will tell you, we went to the induction day, yeah? My belly was quite out there in induction day, and my mum said they're not going to enroll me if they see me pregnant. I said to mum, well, let's see who gonna see me pregnant. I left there with my induction paper, my ID card. I said to my mum, don't mess with me. I'm going to college, innit? I'm gonna sort out what I need to sort out, any means necessary. So when I obviously started the course, like I said, I didn't tell no one I was pregnant. No one knew I was pregnant. It was like everyone was trying to like side eye to see, innit? But I was kind of like covering up, wearing big coats and stuff like that. And you know what? It killed me, because it was like September, and I remember that September was warm. It was like August last year, like for Carnival last year. It was mad warm in September. There's me with a big whole winter jacket. Anybody that knows me from secondary school, I'm something's wrong with me. Like my body temperature is just not right. I wear a winter jacket literally throughout the whole year. You will see me one day leave my house and it's burning hot outside in a winter coat. I don't know why. I literally don't know why. Then I'll be stripping later in the day thinking, why did I do this to myself? But I remember I was wearing winter jackets and everything. So until I got so hot, I was like, you know what, Waneta? You're gonna have to tell someone, innit? So I had like a really sick, what's her name? Was it like a form tutor or whatever it is in college? She was really nice. So I told her, she was like, okay, that's fine. Like she don't have a problem with it as long as I can do my work. But she said, I'm obviously gonna need to advise the ladies in college. So after like 2 weeks, I'm not gonna lie to you, after 2 weeks, because I had to think of a plan. I'm very strategic in it. I need to think of something before I do it, because I like to have an answer for everything. So anything you shoot me with, I want to have an answer. Like I'm a person that I just don't give up that easy, innit? So I went to the lady. The lady was like, well, you know, you're just gonna have to what was the word? It's like mitigate. I think that's what they use for uni. Like you mitigate, innit? Like you have to leave and then come back the next year. I said to this woman, hell no, I'm not leaving. Are you just trying to tell me like I've just nearly finished the first year of college and you're trying to tell me I must leave and then redo that whole first year again? I said to this woman, no way, Jose. So I don't know, I don't even remember how I finessed my way through that situation, but I just said to them, if I can make a deal with you and do my work like 3 months before, can I stay in college? The woman was like, yeah. The woman obviously thought, oh, this girl's not gonna stay for blah 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 in college, she's not gonna do this, she's not gonna do that. So I was like to myself, you know what, Waneta, you're gonna do what you gotta do, innit? Despite what these people say, you're gonna do what you gotta do. So I did it. I did like my work 3 months ahead of time and everything. Went off, had my son, and when what happened? They said to me something like, oh, you have to come back in March. So obviously, I'm like, I don't know, no nursery that take kids at 3 months old, did it? Down in this area, yeah, like Northwest London, all nurseries, I think it's like 6 months or 8 months upwards. So I was like to myself, so how is this gonna work? So me as being me, I was like, yeah, no worries, I'll see you in March. So now, come January now, I went to the college to go submit in a piece of work. Tapping up my ID card's not working. So I'm like, what's going on now? So I've jumped through with someone else. They've withdrawn me for college. And I was like, how have you withdrawn me from college? Like, wasn't the agreement blah, 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 to come back in March, and you're withdrawing me in January? Like, you're trying to be smart. I'm not liking this thought, like their thought process. And I said to them, nah. So I ended up getting put back onto the course. And then kept giving him my work. I think I gave him my work 2 times after that. And then after that second time, they withdrew me again. This time it got to February. And I got angry again. And I was like, how are you guys withdrawing me? Like, this doesn't make any sense to why you're withdrawing me. Again, the agreement was in March. You withdrew me again. Like, now I'm getting vexed in it. What she did, she put me back onto the course. Now, obviously, I was supposed to return back to uni. I think it was the first week. No, not uni, sorry. College, the first week of March. I didn't turn up. I didn't turn up. I was like, nah, I'm not turning up, like, regardless of what the woman says, innit? I'm not turning up. Like, it just didn't make any sense. Like, if I could do my work from home and give it in and still get the grades of someone who is actually sitting there in a class, I didn't see the problem with it. But remember back then, I was obviously younger, innit? Like, I just didn't see a problem. As long as I had a plan and things were making sense my way, I was not thinking about anybody else's way, innit? That's just how I was when I was 17. Well, no, 18 at the time. So now, the woman, she's withdrawn me again now, because obviously now I've gone back on my word and everything. So by that next Monday, I had my son in the nursery, and then I had to be back at college. So long story short, did whatever I had to do, finished college, got a double distinction, applied for uni, got accepted into uni. I got accepted into, I think it was like 3 or 4. How much choices do you have? I think it's like 5, innit? I think I might have got accepted into 4 unis, I think it was. But obviously you have to choose one. So obviously, I went and saw a few, but then I said I was gonna stay at West London. So then eventually I said, you know what, I'll go to the university at West London, saw it, liked it and stuff like that. So then that's when I started my course at uni. So I did the first year was easy. First year was so easy. In uni, first year is like so easy. But obviously I never really had that time like everyone else, that they were partying and stuff like that. One, because my uni's dead. It was dead. The social life was dead. Nobody can tell me the social life, the year I started uni, what was that, 2014, was lit. It was not lit, it was dead, yeah? Secondly, I didn't really go out anyway, so I don't even know how to say all of that. Like, I don't really go out, I don't really go out that much and stuff like that. So I wasn't really too interested in the going outside anyway. But even though when I had them interested times, it was dead, innit? So yeah, so did my first year. First year was easy. Second year, I hated second year of uni. I wanted to give up in second year. I was like, I did not sign up for this. Like, all of this stuff has got nothing to do with events. I think they're just throwing in modules for no reason. Like, I was just so over it in second year. Like, even though I was getting good grades, it was just, you know, sometimes when you're at uni, you just get to that point and you're like, like, what's going on? But I think it's just the pressure of, like, I think because the second year is in between. Obviously, because you got your first year, you got your third year, and second year in between. I think that's what it is. It's just like your breaking point, innit? And I actually kind of saw it with a lot of people, because a lot of people that I saw start in first year, I never saw them in second year. So I feel like second year is very hard on some people, innit? So you just have to, I wouldn't say be mentally prepared for it, but I think you just need to be, you know what, maybe mentally prepared for it. You just need to be there for it. You just need to want to be there, most of all, innit? If you don't want to be there, then don't be there and whatever. So then, yeah, so then in my third year, that's when I got pregnant at the end of my second year. So I got pregnant, I think it was in April. Yeah, April of my second year. So my uni year worked that we finished in May. So I just finished by the time I was obviously, I think it's like 2-3 months pregnant or something like that. I can't even remember, so long ago. Yeah, so that's when I was. So obviously I had the whole summer, everything else cool the whole summer. So obviously I had to return back to uni in September. Pregnant. I did not tell them again. Like, that's just me. Like, I just didn't tell anyone. But the only reason why I didn't tell them then, and I don't advise anybody to do what I did, the only reason why I didn't tell them second time, because I was scarred of what happened the first time. And I'm not gonna lie, our uni course leader, she was mean. She was mad mean. This woman was just mean. And I knew what was gonna come out her mouth before. But luckily for me, there was other people pregnant on the course as well. So I think that kind of took the pressure, like, the anger off me, if that made sense. But I was just like, you know what, I'm not telling nobody until it's like proper blatant. So I don't think I told this woman until, again, my daughter was due in December, literally. Both of my children are born in December. So I don't think I told her until, I think it was October, probably first week of October. I only reason because we was doing a group module and we had to produce a live event. Then I had to be like, you know what, Waneta, you have to say something in it. Because when I looked at the module, it said like risk assessment and everything, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to put other people in risk and jeopardy in it. So obviously I expressed to the woman, told the woman, again, talk about mitigation and blah blah blah, all that stupidness I didn't want to hear. Because at the end of the day, I remember when I started back in uni in September, they said that with your dissertation, you're not allowed to plagiarize yourself. And I asked the woman, I remember saying to the woman, so I've already started my dissertation, because with our dissertation process, we have to do a proposal. So I said to the woman, okay, so I've already done my proposal and I've already started my dissertation. If I mitigate to the next year, can I use that? She said no, because I'll be plagiarizing myself. Do you know how much words I did? I'm not about that whole life of restarting. I don't have that brain in it. Like, let's just say that. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not gonna just sit down again and restart something again. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not the type of person to do that, especially if I've done it before. I'm not gonna do it again. So I was like to the woman, you know what, don't worry, I tried a whole lot of shit. I was like, I've got a plan, blah blah blah, whatever. So ended up having my daughter in December. Did the majority of my work as well, because with our uni it was quite good, because we had the option if we wanted to do top heavy or bottom heavy. So we had 6 modules in total. So top heavy would have been, we'd take 4 the first year and 2 less the second year, or we'll do the reverse. Obviously, because we had our dissertation, which was carried over from second year. It's weird, we didn't do our dissertation in second year, it was just the end bit of the proposal. That's what it was, which made the module seem like it carried over. But yeah, so that's what happened. So then I was like, you know what, okay, I had my daughter, came back to uni in, was it January or February I came back to uni? I came back to uni really quickly, I'm not gonna lie to you, really quickly, but only thankfully because my auntie and uncle literally, they said that they would look after my daughter and everything, and that was perfect for me because I don't really want my newborn baby around anybody. I know a lot of people out there gonna be like, oh my god, you left your newborn baby, but you know what? That's how it is sometimes, and I'm gonna be 100% real with you. That's just how it is. When you have children, if you want to better yourself and obviously make your children look up to you in a certain light, you have to make certain type of sacrifices, innit? Like, don't get twisted. Anybody I went uni with, I was expressing in the library. Yeah, when these people are reading their books on the computer, all you hear in one of the cubicles is from like my electric breast pump. Like, I was mad on it. If I couldn't do it in the library, I'll go into my car. I bought one of them little Duracell. Like, Duracell actually do plug charges. Yeah, I put it in my car and I was expressing in my car. Like, I was on it because at the end of the day, even though it's so weird because I was never the person who wanted to go to uni. I just wanted to work, get money, and do it. Like, I just had that, I would call it a boy mentality, innit? That's what I would call it, because I feel like it's boys that are mainly driven like that. They just want to work their way up, be cool and whatever, innit? I just had that mentality. Maybe it's obviously, maybe because my brother, like I was around my brother, maybe I had that mentality. But when obviously uni was presented to me, because I've always said I've always wanted the option to go to uni. I've never wanted to like not have the option. So when I say that, I mean I've always wanted the grades and then said, you know what, because I got the grades I want to go, or you know what, I got the grades so I don't have to go in it, but I could go eventually. But I just said, you know what, Waneta, because you've got a child, like, you want your child to like look up to you, do you get what I mean? So go to uni. So, and obviously I wasn't expecting to get pregnant in my second year, third year. So obviously I just had to, you know what, at the end of the day, I just had to do what I had to do in it. I had to do what I had to do. She was perfectly fine at my auntie and uncle anyway. Remember at uni, you're only doing, I was only doing like 2-3 days a week at uni, but those 2-3 days a week weren't long days. They literally weren't long days. They were like, I wouldn't even say a shift. They were like a half a shift, like 4 hours, innit? That's all it was. And then what I would do is, if I had the time and if I had like the routine down, I would go to uni at the library. I would stay, but if I was staying, like obviously my mum would watch my children, but if I wasn't staying, I would go there with my children, go pick out the books I needed and leave, you know. That's just how it was. Like I said, mothers out there, especially teenage mothers or mothers who are studying right now, you guys know how it is, isn't it? Like, you have to make sacrifices. So a lot of people that sit down there and will judge first off and be like, when I have kids, I'll never have kids first, innit? That's the one thing I'll say to you. Have kids first before you say anything, because when you have kids, your circumstances always change. Your circumstances are never the same. It's everything changes, isn't it? A lot of people are thinking, yeah, that's obvious. Nah. When you have a child, nothing comes obvious, and everything is spontaneous. Everything just happens. Like, you don't know. You cannot predict certain things that happens when you have a child. So yeah, so that's what I would do. Eventually I finished uni. What did I get for uni? I got a 2-1 actually. I'm so vexed though. I was 8% away from a first, but obviously due to circumstance, like, you know what I mean, I would just obviously take that on the head and be like, yeah, you know what, at least I got the 2-1. I didn't really have a problem with that. But yeah, so that's really my education, like, life, and obviously me having children. I'm not sure if I said it or if you can kind of guess that obviously I am a single parent. And I know a lot of people feel like, how are you a single parent with 2 kids? Because I'm like that when I hear it with people. I'll be watching something on TV and it will be, and I remember something I seen on TV and a woman had like 8 pitney, one after the other, and she was a single mum. And I was like, how the hell are you a single mum and your kids are 1 year like apart? I could understand, but you know what? Now as I've grown up, I've realised, you know what? Everybody's a single mother, and even someone that is married, you are a single mother, because at the end of the day, you are the primary caregiver. You're the one that gets the longest maternity. You're the one that gets the lifetime, the lifetime of nurturing. It's always you and your child. Obviously, the man is there to assist you, is there to guide and everything like that. But I believe that there are single mothers. There's also single fathers out there. I know many single fathers. Like, it's mad the amount of single fathers I knew. I didn't even think that little tiny amount should even exist, to be honest. I didn't think it exists, but obviously it's certain people's circumstance and their situation. But yeah, so I'm a single mother. Is that by choice? Is that by what is the thing? Is that by choice? Is that by force? I would really say by choice. I don't really know. Is it even really by choice? Is it really by force? Like, to be honest, like, that's what just works for me, and like, that literally just works for me. I'm better, like everyone's heard that saying that if you want a job done, do it yourself. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's not saying that I can't live with someone and I can't coincide, is that even a word? I don't even know. Like with someone or whatever, if you guys get what I mean. But I can, it's just like with my children, it's better with like me and my kids, like ourselves. Like I don't know, I just prefer it that way. Like I just prefer it that way. Yeah, so yeah, that's just really a bit about me. Why I'm actually starting this podcast and why I wanted to get into podcasting. So basically, I really wanted to get into radio. So when I was in secondary school, I had the opportunity with a few other people actually to do a radio course. So did the radio course, loved it, everything. But then obviously, like, because you're young then, you don't really know what you want to do. You just want to live, you just want to go out, you just want to be with your friends or whatever. So and back then, I went like, in secondary school, what, your age is from 12 to what, 16? I'm not thinking about nothing but living, innit? Like literally living, getting pizza after school, worrying about who's jumping over the fence to go get the 2 wings and chips. Like that's all I was worried about in school, innit? I'll be 100% honest with you. But yeah, I just really, every year since then, it's like every other year I'm like, I want to get into radio, and then I'm like, nah, I don't. And then I want to get into radio, and then nah, I don't. Or I want to get into radio, and I end up doing something completely different. So now that I've obviously finished uni, and I've had like, I still work part-time. So I said, you know what, I got a bit of time on my hands anyway. Let me invest in myself and try and perfect a craft, innit? Or create a craft at least. You kind of get what I mean? So I did a radio course and everything like that. The radio course was amazing and everything, but it's just from there, I didn't really feel like I was getting anything. So I said, you know what, Waneta, email a couple places, see if you can get that work experience, like just voluntary work experience, just to kind of learn about the industry at least a little bit. Nobody wanted to get back to me, like nobody wanted to get back to me. Nobody emailed me back and everything. And you know, I'm the type of person that I'm not an impatient individual, but I'm not a type of individual to sit down and just wait and then nothing's coming. I'm not gonna do that. It's just like standing outside with your hands like that, just looking for something to fall into your hand. Like, what's the ratio? Do you kind of get what I mean? So I'm the type of person that I like to put in the effort. If like, what am I trying to say? I just want to look for my own thing. Like, as I'm emailing people and I'm trying to get back and everything like that, I'm saying to myself, you know what? It's not happening. Let me just start something. Let me see. So obviously, I just do what everyone else does. So I went on Google, I went on YouTube, and I was looking at certain stuff, and then I thought to myself, you know what, Waneta? Obviously, maybe perfect something before obviously doing like a live radio. Because live radio, you can say stuff and I ain't coming back. Like, it's not coming back at all. Yeah, so I went to Maplin and then I just bought the equipment for the stuff for podcasting, to be 100% honest with you. And what I did is, I said to myself, you know, Winnie, I'll take a day to just sit down and write what like you want it to be about, what subjects you want to do, who you want to talk to, like what do you want to get out of it and stuff like that. So literally, I bought like a big old notebook, which I literally filled up like the first 30 pages. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, when I'm on something, I just go for it. So I just said to myself, yeah, like what I wanted it to be. So like I said, I just want this platform to be a platform where I can get in like a few young people. Obviously at first I'm getting people who I know, because obviously the best, like my friends around me are not only my motivators, but they're my tools at the same time. Do you get what I mean? So, and who knows me better than people around me, should I say that as well? And we can kind of bounce off conversations much more easier than maybe like a stranger. Obviously I'll have to get to know for a while. So I just said, you know what, I want these friends down. This is what we're going to talk about. I want to get inside the minds of a young man and a young female, because sometimes I'll be watching stuff and sometimes I'll be thinking, you know what, I'm not getting enough out of it. Like literally, I'm not getting nothing out of it. I want more. And sometimes I feel like there are like missing questions, or sometimes I feel like there's topics that people avoid to not sound ignorant and not sound whatever. But let's just be real at the end of the day, like no matter what you say, someone out there is always going to take it a different way, innit? They're always going to take it a different way. So for some people out there who are shy in speaking or feel like they can't say certain things, like, don't. I always used to be, I'm very, like, loud and outspoken, and a lot of people think I'm very, like, ignorant and stuff like that, but I'm not. Like, I'm a really open person. But what I've had to learn throughout the years is, like, don't feel scared to say anything. Like, don't be scared to say anything. Like, what you say can always be taken differently by the shyest person or by the quietest person. Do you get what I mean? So if that can happen, don't restrict yourself, and don't tarnish your integrity or your self-belief. Do you kind of get what I mean? Just because you feel that other people are going to take something what you've said is wrong. I personally truly believe if you haven't said anything in a malicious way, or it's not coming out with any type of side intents or anything like that, I don't see the problem with it. Do you kind of get what I mean? I don't see the problem with it. Everybody is entitled to their opinion and stuff like that. But I definitely wanted this to be a platform where my friends and myself, and obviously eventually strangers, obviously if the podcast grows, it grows. You kind of get what I mean? Tank and jar, you understand? But if it grows, I want it to be a platform where other people can seriously sit down and they can talk and they can share their views. They can just answer basic questions that some listeners and viewers may be feeling and asking. I do know that some people might say, but the people you have on there is like young, like we're young and stuff like that. Like, don't be fooled. Some of the people look young, but they're not really like young like myself. Like, we're all between the ages, let's just say like from 23 to like 30 who will be on this podcast. We're all between those ages. So I'm hoping someone out there could probably relate to either a story that we've been through, or just I don't know, or probably just find a connection with someone and just wants to hear us. You kind of get what I mean? Like, what more can I really ask for than for viewers and listeners to really just listen to us? And then, like I always say, I think I said in one of the episodes, that there's a difference in hearing someone and listening to someone, innit? Because you can be hearing what someone's saying, but it's not sinking into your soul. When you're listening to someone, you're taking the time out to have empathy for that person, to have compassion, to actually like connect with that person, like energy. And it's like all about the law of attraction, law of energy, everything. Like, you're spending that time to actually have that with that person. So I would love for this to be a platform like that. But yeah, that's how I really just got into the podcast, to be honest. Like, no one was getting back to me. So I just said, you know what, y'all, just do your own thing. Let's just see how it goes and everything like that. So guys, like, just bear with me. So if you're listening to the podcast and something sound a bit right, I'm learning. Literally, as I'm doing this, I'm learning. The same with the video. If you're like, that edit's a bit shit, like, sorry, or something, like, just bear with me, I'm learning. Remember, like, I'm actually doing all of this myself. I'm doing the editing of the audio, the editing of the video, and everything like that. Do you get what I mean? I'm just doing it all myself, just trying to get out there, like I said, train myself as well as perfect a craft. You kind of get what I mean? My advice to some young mothers out there, or some people who are pregnant now, studying and stuff like that, like, you guys just keep doing you, innit? Don't make nobody tell you that you cannot do something. Like, literally don't. And I know a lot of people be like, oh, well, if this person, like, that person with authority, like, F him, innit? Let me just be 100% honest with you, F him. I used to be like, oh my God, like, this person said something, like, it must mean something, it must hold some type of substance. You know what? If you know you can do something, do what you got to do, innit? Literally, do what you got to do. Like, there's too much people out here bashing young mothers and young fathers as well, trying to put them into a statistic, like, box in it, and not trying to bring them out. Like, don't get twisted, I'm a part of a statistic, innit? I'm from an estate, I'm from an estate originally, do you get what I mean? I'm from an estate where I had a baby at a young age, innit? So obviously I've been put into that box, innit? But at the end of the day, like, you don't have to stay in that box forever. And who created that box anyway? Do you kind of get what I mean? Like, who created that box? As far as I'm concerned, if people are reproducing them, but people are still contributing to the world, and people are still making the best, people are still basically, if people are having children and people are still making better of themselves, if that makes sense, and they're bettering themselves, they're still doing something. Do you kind of get what I mean? They haven't lost themselves as a person. They still have self-love, they still have self-belief, they still have ambition, they still have everything like that. I don't see why someone should be broken down and someone should be conformed. Anybody who is in college right now and is pregnant, or uni and pregnant, and feel like they might not have that support system and they can't go on, like, you can find it within yourself. Do you kind of get what I mean? Like, myself, I was lucky enough to have a support system. Like, I had obviously my mum, my auntie, my uncle, and my cousins, and obviously my brother, my family. So I'm very lucky for that. And I understand some people don't have that support system in it. I 100% understand some people that have that, and it is very difficult. But you know what? Even if you can join, I know this might sound mad corny, yeah, but join like a forum. Like, you see them like mum forums and stuff like that. Because when I was pregnant, I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty. Like, hands up, I went to those forums and I had to look at stuff because I'm 17 having a baby. Like, I don't know what to do in it. I literally didn't know what to do. So I went to Googling, found some forums, and I'm not gonna lie, I felt better about myself. I literally felt better about myself. So a part of me making this video for you guys to obviously get to know me and obviously how I came into podcasting, I also want it to be a video to be where, as ladies out there, don't feel like you're pregnant. You get what I mean? Like, don't feel no type of way. Also, single fathers now, like, you guys are it. You get what I mean? You guys are doing the thing, like, right now. Like, don't let nobody tell you that you can't do this and you can't do that. Like, you can only do what you, what's the saying, or what's the best way to put it? Like, you can like, there's no limitations to you in it. You can only set limitations for yourself. You're the only one who can set limitations for yourself. No one else can set a limit for you but you. Do you kind of get what I mean? So if you want to sit down there and you're saying, you know what, I'm looking after this child, but in 2 years I'm going to be a pilot, do what you need to do. Get what books you need to study what you need to study. Do you get what I mean? So you know, in them 2 years, you're doing something. Like, one thing that really helps me is I'm so corny. I do like a vision board. I do a vision board because me, like, I'm not, how would I say, like, I'm just mad. I just see things very differently. I prefer to see things visual. Like, I don't like for people to tell me stuff. Does that even make sense? I don't know. I just like to see things. Like, I'm one of the people, like, I need to see it to believe it. Do you get what I mean? So I know from when I'm seeing something, yeah, like, the goal is there, the aim is there. So maybe, like, even if you guys would do a vision board, or like even like little Mary Jane, like, I call this Mary Jane, like, put like little post-its and stuff like that, or stuff that you want to achieve, and every time you achieve them, you obviously create a new one or something like that. Like, do like a little Mary Jane, something like that. Like, have something there so you can go towards it, because you know, if someone's saying to you, oh, you don't look like you're not doing nothing, you don't look like this, you don't look like that. Yes, you are, because you've got your vision board there, and you've everything that you've achieved, you've taken down off that board. Do you kind of get what I mean? So you know, if you started with 10 and you got 3, you could be like, you know, mentally, you know what, I've done 7 steps already, you know. Like, that's just what it is. Like, don't let no one bring you down. Some ladies out there, I'm mainly I am obviously speaking to the single fathers as well, but obviously mainly I would say the single mothers, because obviously I'm a woman, and I obviously don't understand fully the struggles that a single father goes through. Like, I don't think I'll ever understand the struggle that a single father goes through. But mainly to the ladies, like, have self-love in it. Definitely have self-love. Like, even, no matter what your relationship with your partner, your spouse, your baby father, I don't know what everybody's calling them nowadays, but whatever, like, status of you in his relationship or whatever right now, even baby mothers and baby mothers, you get what I mean? Like, do you get, I'm not even singling out no one, do you kind of get what I mean? So no matter what your status of relationship with your spouse, your husband, your wife, or whatever it is, like, still keep your self-love in it. Still keep your self-love, because especially if you're that primary caregiver, you need to stay strong for that little child or children that you may have. So just do you. Like, you're fine. You're fine. Like, look at me. I'm fine. Oh, well, I like to think I'm fine. To be honest, like, looking back, like, on my life, yeah, like, I feel like I've been through a lot. And then when I have to look at the day and the year, I'm like, raw, I'm only 23. Like, why does it feel like I'm so old? Like, in one of the episodes, I said I'm 23 going on 83. Like, literally, I feel like I'm 23 going on 83, because I've just been through, like, so much. But then again, when I look back on things now, like, the greatest achievement and the greatest, like, honor that I feel right now is basically, this is gonna sound so weird, but I would say, like, my attitude. Looking back on my attitude, or how I was then to now, that's my greatest, like, achievement, like, my greatest honor. Like, I've completely changed. I flipped. Like, literally years ago, I was a person where, like, I didn't really care. Like, not in a sense where I was careless. I just didn't really care. I just wanted to live. Like, everyone just wanted to live. Like, I just didn't feel no type of way. My mum would be like, oh, come home at 7. Girl, I'm coming home at 10 o'clock. Like, that's how I was. Like, I didn't really care. Like, I would come home, my mum would be like, stand by the bin. I'll be sitting on the bin. She'd be like, come back inside, man. Why are you sitting on the bin? Like, it would be mad funny. Like, I just thought my life was just very funny. Like, it was just like a joke, like, overall. I'm not gonna lie, I just thought it was like a joke and stuff like that. But looking back on my life now, it's like I've grown. Like, literally, I've grown so much. Like, attitude-wise, my view on so many different things, I've grown a lot. And I'm really happy for that. And I would say, obviously, that is obviously to do with my kids, that they played a big part in how I changed, because I couldn't be having a child and go on in the same way how it was going on. I couldn't do that, because one, how would that look on me, first of all? How would my child look at me, and how would that look on my family? Do you get what I mean? Because I am a representation of everybody around me, and everybody that has been involved in my life in some way, I represent them somehow. Do you get what I mean? So I represent my mother, I represent my father, I represent my brothers and sisters. Like, that's just me. Anybody who's had some type of contact with me, I represent them. So I can't be running around careless, because I don't come from a careless background, innit? I don't come from like ignorant people. Like, I'm not that type of person. Especially, I would even say the area you come from, do you get what I mean? Like, the area I come from is not a careless area. Like, it takes a community, it takes a village to raise a child. Like, I can't be acting some type of way, because that's not where I came from. That's not the people who I was around. You kind of get what I mean? So I keep saying you kind of get what I mean. You kind of get what I mean. So I don't know why I keep saying that. But yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this small, like, short little podcast. I actually felt good doing this, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. I might do more like individual ones, but if I do more individual ones, I think it'll be like self blogs. I don't know, self stories or stuff like that. But if some of you guys like really like this video, or you want to hear more, you want to ask me questions, or you feel like I've missed out certain things, or you want me to go a bit deeper on certain things, like, I really don't mind going deeper on certain things. I don't really mind going deeper, because I understand that stuff like that's happened, innit? Like, do you get what I mean? I'm sure and I'm confident within myself, I'm not going to go back there and stuff like that. So I don't mind speaking about stuff that I've gone through, or stuff or in a bit more in depth in it, if you kind of get what I mean. So if some of you guys want to know, you want to ask me, either follow us on Instagram at Bailey's follow us on Instagram at Bailey's Podcast. Also, you can like, comment and subscribe the YouTube page. You can also DM us on Instagram and stuff like that. If you've got any questions, like I said, or any comments, or any subjects you feel like we should touch on. If you feel like I'm gonna get a mixture of group as well, of boys by themselves and boys and girls. So please stay tuned for that. That's gonna be really good. It's gonna be mad good, because I've got a good set of people coming for that. So so if you have any questions you would like us to answer, please put them in the comment box on the YouTube page, or please put them in our comments on Instagram, or please DM us on Instagram, and I'll definitely do that. But yeah, I hope you guys like this. I hope someone, at least one person out there, a young mother or young father, or anybody out there, do you kind of get what I mean, like, who is going through it, or who wants to go through like children and stuff like that, and are in education or want children or whatever. I just hope you've listened to this and you kind of just, I don't know, this kind of motivates you in somehow, or just lets you think about, obviously. I just hope that this video really touches someone out there. Do you kind of get what I mean? Someone going through the same thing that either I've gone through or something similar. I hope this touches young fathers and young mothers. Like, I really wish that when I was pregnant, when I actually had like something like this, where someone can actually talk about their like whole experience and stuff like that. But if you want to know like a bit more in depth before you actually ask me questions, like I said, I'll put down the link for my blog. And then literally my blog has everything in my blog, like the whole stages from when I was pregnant, like what happened when I was actually pregnant, from the beginning throughout the whole thing. So maybe before you ask me questions, if you want to read that first, and then you can obviously ask questions. Sorry, I didn't even put my phone on silent. Yeah, so maybe you can, if you read the blog first, then if you feel like you want me to go in depth in anything, to be honest, in the blog I went really in depth, to be honest. So I don't know, but then again, you guys are different from me. Obviously, you might spot something out that I haven't spotted. So yeah, so please like, comment and subscribe. Put your like, comment, subscribe. Put your comments and your questions below. And then hopefully you'll be tuning back with us with another episode of Bailey's Podcast with Waneta. I'm Waneta. See you later.